Hey guys, this is Derek from Pacific Coast Auto here in Japan, and we're taking a look at a year 2000 GC8 WRX Impreza Type R. Type R meaning it has 2 doors instead of the regular 4. Now this one's the version 6, and so it's the final version of the GC8. It is the best version of them, and part of the reason why we don't have too many of these Imprezas on the channel is because the version 6 with the 2 doors is the one that everybody wants, and so the prices are pretty extreme. Prices for these, now I'm not going to say for this one because of privacy reasons, but prices for this type of car bounce between about 700,000 to 1.6 million depending on the condition of it. Now lucky for us and super happy price on this one, we got it for I think a better deal than the condition of the car would normally be, and I chalk that up to an auction inspector that was being a little bit of a pain in the butt and grading this one a bit stiffly. I know if I was selling this car, I'd be a little bit upset with that because the condition seems to be pretty good. There are some things here and there that need to be repaired, but I think good value for money on this one. So let's have a look at it. The EJ20 engine is an EJ27, or EJ207 is how it's written. That is the final version of the GC8 engine. We have big aluminum intercooler. See, that one is different. You get a red valve cover for the STi, but it has peeled off. And here is not Mr. Leaky's, that's just me opening it up and checking it and going, oh, that's nice, and then putting it back on. Okay. We have air filter, that's aftermarket. It's an Apex or Apex I, depending on which country. I mean, it's technically Apex I, but here in Japan they just call it Apex for some reason. Apexy? I don't know. Okay, aluminum radiator by Blitz, and it looks like it's an oversized one, and so that's very nice. Engine running condition looks to be pretty good, although I do wonder about this. We got a pulley that's shaking a little bit in there. Have a look. If it were my car, I would make sure that that's properly balanced. Okay, so that is basically it for the engine. Oil looks good, coolant looks good. Vehicle engine revs smoothly and nicely. Just gonna let that down. There we go. I do wonder why the Impreza has a single coil, whereas the Legacy gets a single coil per cylinder. That is interesting, because you do get kind of more power out of the Impreza engine. Anyway, that's a little bit off topic. Let's go over the auction sheet here, and bear with me, they were a little bit sticky on it, and so it's going to take me a little bit of time to translate all of this. So it's the year 2000. Oh, and this one's going to the UK, and thumbs up for that, because not a lot of these go to the UK. They had a lot of them come in kind of the early 2000s, and then the prices went down, and then they all turned into rust, and they all just went away, and they were owned by people that didn't take care of them. And nowadays prices are going up, and so it's really hard to find a good one these days. So good to see at least one from Japan making its way to the UK. Okay, so 132,703 kilometers on this one. I don't think the timing belt has been done because there's no sticker in the engine bay saying that it has, and so you might want to get the timing belt changed on this one. 2000cc engine, but it puts out probably around 300 horsepower in this iteration. 5-speed manual, comes with toll collection box, fog lamps, and digital TV tuner. Power steering, power windows, airbag, and alloy wheels. Now there is something weird about this one. It's a Type R STi version 6, right? But it also has the locking center differential, or the variable center differential, that was available on the Type RA and on some of the later ones on the V Limited. I wouldn't be surprised if this one actually is a V Limited, or let's see. It doesn't have any badges, and I'm kind of looking at the paint here for marks of the badge being removed. Here's the Type R sticker on there, and yay, stickers save that extra 6 grams of weight. And so that is an I don't know why it has the locking center differential, and the intercooler water spray, which has a little nozzle in here. You can see it, and it sprays water onto the intercooler when you're driving, and so you can get the cooling effect of the evaporation. Very cool. Okay, what else do we got here? Here's the report and the sales points. Okay, so this one is an R grade, interior and exterior D, and I would call this a C and a C, or maybe even a B for the interior, maybe. but definitely not a D for either of those in my opinion. Okay, so the trunk floor has, okay, this one here is a deformation, but it really only means that it has been hit from an accident and then bent back to regular. And so the trunk floor deformation or repair marks. Rear side member, same thing, and various dents on the car. Aftermarket driver recorder, aero parts scratched. Interior has some extra gauges in it. Vehicle's been lowered from stock. Aftermarket portable Navi. It's up there. Door mirrors. Take a look. They have this like little carbon fiber-y piece. It's kind of cool. But the door mirror crack, let me just show you that. It's on this one. Down here. It's kind of out of the way of your view because you can't see it that well until you go underneath. And so only kids will see it. You're going to get like 7-year-olds going, dude, change your mirrors. And you'll say, wait till you grow up. And then talk to me about that. Okay, winter tires. Hood duct has paint peeling. Air filter modification. Underside has corrosion. Underside corrosion large. Okay, we're going to take a look at the underside with the camera when we go past this report. Aftermarket exhaust seat wear medium, seat saggy, and door card has cigarette burns. They're pretty light ones. Console scratch, steering wheel wear. Exterior has slight scratches or various scratches around the car, and bumper underside scratch. And then looking at the diagram here, we have P3 is bad condition paint on the hood. Now that's mostly just the duct here. You can see the peeling. Very common for these Imprezas to have that. It's actually on all the plastic pieces, including these ones. Now this ducting is exclusive to the version 6, and the spoiler is exclusive to the version 6. The bottom section is the same between 5 and 6, but the top section is different and has a steeper angle for this section here for the 6. See how it kind of goes, yoop, at the top. And so that's the one that people want. It's the picnic table everybody wants to eat off of, including me. Now we got a U3 here, which I couldn't find at all. That should be a big dent. And I couldn't really find a B2, which should be another dent on that side. We do have mild C1. That's small rust. And I'll show you that when we go around. Okay, so let's do the once around. Now, pardon me for taking so long to go through those sheets. There were a lot of marks on there. Keep in mind, that's all the information you get about the car before you bid on it. And so you decide how much you want to bid based on those marks. Okay, everyone thinks the GC8 is the best Impreza. It is the first one, and they made this same body style for 8 years, which is pretty remarkable. But Subaru is a small company, and they kept making it better every year because they wanted to beat Mitsubishi, which is a huge company. Actually, let me rephrase that. Subaru is owned by Fuji Heavy Industries, and they're a fairly big company, but Mitsubishi as a conglomerate here in Japan is way, way bigger. They're kind of one of the top players. They make everything. Okay, so we got the version 6 front with the lip at the bottom, the minor small lip. We do have covers for these. They came in the back. And we have the crystal headlights that say Subaru on them, so they are the official ones, not aftermarket ones. And then white here instead of the orange of the earlier ones, and same thing goes with the tail lights. We got white here instead of orange. Exhaust seems like it will probably sound better if you take that silencer out. It kind of sounds a little bit like that. Okay, 4 pots in the front, kind of the same brakes that they've had the whole time. Nothing special about these compared to other versions. And winter tires with lots of tread on them. Now here's where we should have a U3 is on the door. You see there? Looks good. Now there is a small dent, you can probably see it, and there is also pterodactyl poo on here with a little bit of cloudiness around it. That will need some polish. Front end here, some of the lines don't line up super. Oh, the sun looks so nice there on the paint. Look at that sparkle. Okay, back to what I was saying. This one is too big, this one is too small, and this one is not quite right. And so that fender needs a little bit of a talk. All of its friends need to get together and say, dude, you need to chill out. This one looks like everything is fine. Okay, so other damages, what do we got? We got some scratches on the front here, chukka chukka, and chukka, and here. Okay, we have a cracked visor on the side over here. Okay, and the C1 right there, and on the other side too. Right there. And then these back blocks on both sides have some peeling paint on them. Same thing on the front ones. STi. It's the only time that you want to get an STi. Cool. Okay, underside, we're going to have... Now, I did take pictures with the report, but we're limited in what we can see without lifting the vehicle up. The jack-up point has a little bit right there. You can see the exhaust is nice. Floor pans look nice. So, mostly thumbs up. Back end and up in here is a very typical place. Looks like there's been some corrosion repairs here. And you have some on the member there, the suspension member, and on the sway bar. As far as corrosion goes, especially corrosion outside of Japan, I wouldn't call this extremely bad. This side it's hard to see anything, but I don't see anything bad. And so, there it is. You may have some that's not visible to me, and for that I apologize. Oh, let me just point this out to you. Front and back, this is a little bit peeling. Have a look. And then there's possibly some rust underneath the spoiler because it's dripped down strange colors in here. And strange colors means chemicals from rust or from metal. Like if you have like a metal drain pipe on your house that always drips onto your car, it'll stain your paint that color. And so, or like a kind of like a pearlescent color that changes colors with the different angles that you're looking at, and that's what we have here and on the other side here. And so most likely you have some rust underneath there. Door card here. There's the cigarette burns. Now they are light, but they are many. The doors are huge because this is the 2-door. You get much bigger doors than on the 4-door. Okay, here's your interior. Engine response feels great. Driver's seat has some sagginess in it, more than your average. You can see here. Okay, steering wheel is good. Shift knob has been replaced and is super tight. Look at this. Yoop, yoop. That's weird for an Impreza. Usually they get loose after 80,000 clicks. Yes, please. Or this one, set it and forget it. And let's turn those fog lights off. I just had them on because I like fog lights. Power steering feels nice and smooth. Feels like a low kilometer car. Engine is good. Watch. That's good. I'm going to play with the center differential just because it's fun. So this is just different levels of lock. And then this one here is completely locked. So that's cool. It's for your rally driving. Okay, they got lots of gauges. So turbo here, air fuel here, oil temp, water temp, exhaust temp, and oil pressure. And we have decent oil pressure when cold and when warm. Don't know if it's been smoked in. Kind of thinking yes, but doesn't smell like cigarettes inside here. You got this one for your CDs, whatever those are, and boost controller, which you do want to watch out for because you don't want to run too much boost, but you can set your boost here if you want. Make sure you understand that just setting your boost doesn't really do an awful lot without getting the proper air-fuel ratio dialed in with the computer. So be careful if you're going to fiddle around with that. And then a turbo timer here, which is not wired in to work, or is just turned off or something. Turbo timer will keep the engine running for a little bit so that the engine can cool itself down, or the turbo mostly can cool itself down before it shuts off, because turbos don't like quick changes in temperature like that. Okay. And so, what else we got in here? We have lots of glove boxies. Now, the car usually comes with one more glove boxy, which goes here, but the gauges have been put onto it instead. It has normal floor mats, normal door cards, clean interior. It looks nice. Okay. Time for exiting, and time for the end of this video. And so I would say that good value for this one. Really like these Imprezas, very much like these Imprezas. Super quick cars and super light too for a four-wheel drive car. Running at around 1200 or 1250 kilos is extremely light. And so I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks a lot everyone for watching. If you have any comments, feel free to post those in the comments section. Thanks a lot everyone. Have a very nice day.